Wales and Fiji, folks, and it's Fiji who get a famous away win in Cardiff, 24 points to 19. First ever win in Cardiff, bounced back after that shock loss. Shock loss to Scotland. The shock scoreline to Scotland last week. Without their big guns, they get the big guns back. They win away in Wales, and the misery goes on for Gats. They haven't won a game this year. They could have won this game. It's a relatively tight scoreline. Both sides had tries chalked off. I watched this one much delayed. Apologies for that. The game was on at like 2 o'clock in the morning over here in NZ, so I opted not to get out of bed. Maybe I should have, because it's a cracking result for the Fijian boys. But I did have the kind of benefit of being able to now go and watch the post-match press conference, and Gats not too happy a chappy. It's a rough one, man. They conceded way too many penalties in their own half. I mean, you look at the scoreline. It's 4 Fijian penalties. They didn't score as many tries as the Welsh. The stereotype would tell you that Fiji will outscore you with tries, but maybe not kick all their goals. Not so with this one. If you're going to concede that many penalties in your own half, Caleb Muntz will keep slotting them and take the scoreboard away from you. Wales were not helped by the fact that Mason Grady, their winger, went off and they didn't have a proper wing replacement on the bench with the 6-2 split. And then the guy that came on, Sam Costello, wasn't even supposed to come on. They apparently had instructions. This is the benefit of listening to the post-match press conference. Ellis Bevan, who ends up scoring a try late on the right wing, the reserve halfback, was supposed to be the wing replacement in the event of a wing going down early. So, yeah, some stuff didn't go right for Wales. But the game started well for them. We'll go through some of the key events and the stats. You guys can let us know your thoughts on how this one went. But yeah, Wales, Gats said in the post-match that he felt like they could have been 20 points up early on. That's probably a little bit of an exaggeration, but they did start well. They had Fiji under the pump, 18 phases of Fijian defence. Held the Welsh attack out, but the attack wasn't particularly inventive. It was basically just the forwards going up the guts until they lost the turnover to the Fijians. And then when they did finally spread it, Blair Murray on his debut, nice drawn pass out to the left wing. He's able to go over for a try. That's pretty sweet stuff. So 7 points to 0 for the Welsh boys early. Fiji did reply with a penalty, but Wales, when they got penalties, decided not to opt for threes, and it looked like they had been rewarded really early on. Looked like Cam Winnett had gone over for a nice try, but that one gets chalked off for Tommy Reffel with a illegal clean-out on Semi Radradra in the build-up to it. So that sees him yellow-carded and the try chalked off. So hence Gats' frustration, I think. But then things get worse for Fiji in terms of their dealings with the ref, because not only do they give away a penalty for obstructing a kick chaser, which the referees are really, really clamping down on in this series. Like, when are they going to clamp down on, like, feeding scrums straight? I don't know, but they're clamping down on anybody obstructing kick chasers, and that's the one that Fiji get pinged for. Wales go for a maul. Thanakaivata the Lucy, he collapses it illegally, which means a yellow card for him and a penalty try for Wales. So it's 14-3, and we got 14 guys each side on the field. So that's a kind of a win for Wales. And then it gets worse for Fiji, because Radradra puts in a pretty poor shot on Cam Winnett and gets red carded for it. It's initially yellow, but they upgraded to red. It was always going to be a red. It's not a good look. I know there's a difference in size between those guys, but it was never a good hit. So we got 14-man Wales against 13-man Fiji. And then Fiji just get the dominance despite having a man down. This is a really disappointing part for Wales, really encouraging for Fiji. Like, you're a man down and then you score a try through Caleb Muntz. It's a line break from nowhere. He shouldn't be scoring that kind of try. Soft defence, but Muntz took the initiative multiple times in this game. Yeah, we kind of step and jink through. Fens on win it, 14-10 the scoreline. And then, despite the fact that they got the man advantage, Wales, like, they'll go through some phases. They'll put a dinking kick through. Sure, it gets them into some territory, but not really kind of going for the jugular stuff. They had one, set of moves where they would, look to finally get some space. They'd only be ruined by a forward pass, and then there was a scrum in which they would concede a penalty at that time. So, yeah, man advantage didn't count for much for the Welsh boys. And then, Fiji even had their own try chalked off. It looked like they had got a penalty try themselves. It was looking like kind of going from success to disaster for the Welsh boys when Fiji opted to go for the maul. But despite the fact the ref had already given the penalty try for Fiji, the TMO, I don't think I've seen that before, called them up to say, nah, there's obstruction in the maul. So cancel your penalty try. I've seen more tries get cancelled before, but I don't know if I've seen a penalty try get TMO'd. So the TMO's the ref. Try cancelled. So we go into the sheds with a 14-10 lead for Wales. Remember, they still go into the sheds with a man advantage for a few more minutes for the start of the second half. Position's pretty even. Territory is slightly in favour of Wales as we go into the sheds. End of the red card period, and Fiji get a penalty to make it a 1-point game. 14-13. So Wales have done nothing to capitalise on the man advantage. In fact, they've conceded points. Wales do go through like 10 phases into the Fijian 22. And then like Rowlands just get isolated. He gets kind of pinged at the breakdown. So that's one chance missed. Like you're deep in opposition territory. You're going through phases. You need to get some points. They get nothing. Then we get another kind of Caleb Muntz taking the initiative. We show and go. He gets a half break. Wales end up conceding a penalty in their own half again. Fiji take the lead. 16-14. And then like there's more moments where Wales have a chance to take the initiative back. Thomas Williams with a box kick for a 50-22. This time Wales shifted out to the left wing, but there's a forward pass which blows a pretty obvious overlap, so it's a chance missed. They do get advantage from a midfield maul. The Welsh, they opt for touch rather than going for 3 points. They get another advantage, but then after they tap and go, more handling errors ruin that one. Like you feel like that's the period they needed to take the game to Fiji. And every time Fiji held or Wales made an error. Then Fiji get a chance. Tui Silva, he gets a try on the hour mark. He absolutely sits down Blair Murray for that one. He sat down a few guys in this game. One-on-one, he's such a hard man to bring down. He's such a big unit. It comes from a box kick as well, which Wales failed to field, which led to a scrum. Attacking on the left wing, Waningola went close. And then when they shifted the ball right to Tui Silva, again, one-on-one, Tui Silva, Murray sits him down, and then I think it's Ben Thomas who tries to grab him. He gets a hold of him, but not enough to bring him down before he makes it over the try line. So 21-14 with the misconversion. 7-point game, so still within touching distance, but Wales knock on the door several times, get nothing. Fiji clinical down the other end. 1 shot, 1 kill. And then Wales from the restart, Ben Thomas goes out on the full. So I don't know, man. Like, Warren Gatland's going to cop a lot of stick, but Warren Gatland doesn't make anybody kick it out in the full from a restart. And the crowd is dead quiet by that point. I feel like they're in dread mode, I suppose. Alice Bevan then comes on. Not too long later, they take off Gareth Anscombe. Costello switches to 10. Bevan is out on the wing, and he scores with his first touch of the ball. They finally took a chance. Costello, nice little kind of quick hands pass. They shift it right, and, Jack Morgan, big carry in the build-up. He'd come on not too long earlier as well. That was a bit of good news for Wales. They missed the conversion, so it's still a 2-point lead for Fiji. But that's at least got some excitement back in the crowd. They finally managed to take a chance. 2-point game, but that is the final scoring for Wales. There is another try chalked off for the Fijian boys because the final pass is forward from Caleb Muntz. That one's a bit of a blown opportunity. The TMO had to check that one, but sure enough, it was. They had advantage anyway, so they went back for the advantage, which ended up leading to a penalty shot, which the Fijians duly took. It's another penalty conceded for Wales in their own half. So 24-19, that's the final score, but it means Wales need a try to win the game. Fiji was seemingly pretty happy at the end of the game just to control the territory, hoofing it downfield. Not always the prettiest kicks, but enough to keep the ball out of their own half. But that being said, they conceded a penalty on a high tackle. Costello had a really nice touch finder, so Wales had a chance. The game was in their hands. They had the ball down the right end of the field. They mauled it. They went through, I think, 2 phases. And then Ryan Elias knocks the ball on. To be fair to him, the pass that was passed to him was basically straight at his face. But he probably still needs to be catching it. He bobbles it. And then after a couple of Fijian phases out wide, they actually go into touch and the game is over. So disappointing result for Wales. Gats seemed pretty gutted. He's not going to find the stats pretty reading. I mean, they had more possession in territory, Wales, but run meters, 421, 291, Fiji. Defenders beaten 32-23, Fiji. Clean breaks 7-3, Fiji. Turnovers 1, 5-2, Fiji. Penalties conceded 12-11, Wales. And the breakdown of those penalties, it's 8-4 for for Wales in terms of 8 in their own half, 4 in opposition half, whereas the Fijians split 6-5, so more even. So Wales, 8 penalties down their own half. Like, if you just looked at the stats without seeing the score, without seeing the teams, you would assume the team with all those good numbers won, and they did. It was Fiji. They had the dominant areas in more than the Welsh guys, despite the fact that Gats said that they were pretty unlucky with a couple of the calls and whatnot. I know, man. It's a rough one. They certainly could have won. They had chances, but I don't know if it's the calls. I feel like it's more just errors, missed chances for mine. But anyway, Caleb Munt's man of the match, 83 metres, 5 defenders beaten, a try and a bunch of penalties. Good on the youngster. Cam Wynn at 73 metres, 7 defenders beaten. He's such a small dude, but I like watching him play. I feel like he's pretty secure at the back. I mean, he did get fended at one point, but I think he's largely doing a good job at the back for Wales. Plumtree, 16 tackles. Danakaivata, 14 for the Fijian boys. So, yeah. Wales have got Australia next. Australia coming in off a high, having beaten England. Wales are at a low with like 10 matches lost in a row. Maybe this is the time that they get a win. Fiji have got Spain, so that'll be an interesting one in itself. They'll be big-time favourites for that one. But I feel like Fiji, rather being that they prefer to be the underdog. Fiji like going to a team where they're not quite written off, but they're the underdogs, they're away from home, they're not expected to win. Then they can pull out a big performance like this. I feel like Fiji do poorer when they are favoured to win. So we'll see what they can do with the favourite status against Spain. You guys let us know your thoughts. Do you reckon Gats is right that they were just unlucky with a few calls? Do you think that Fiji were pretty good value for their win? You guys let us know your thoughts and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. I'll endeavour to get more previews, reviews and stats out to you guys in the not too distant future. You guys take care. Talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.